Hey everyone, welcome back. Bigelow Reviews here. I am Brent Bigelow and I have a new review for you, and that is SOS by SZA. It's finally here. We've been waiting. It's time. SZA's finally released another album. It's been 2017 with Control since the last time she's released an album, and it's here. I'm hella late to reviewing it, but like I mentioned in my top 10 video, if you want to watch that, it's right there. Just click on it after you're done watching this one. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it because it almost made my top 10, but didn't quite make it just because I think it didn't have a long enough time to sit in and simmer and all that good stuff. So I left it like 11th, 12th on my list. But not top 10. It was pretty freaking good though. But I want to put up my real thoughts and feelings and my score and all that good stuff on here so you guys know, because it was a pretty big release in 2022. But like I was saying, like it's been a long ass time since SZA's dropped an album. Control was an absolute R&B, like a modern R&B classic. So many hits. You have songs like The Weekend. You have Love Galore, Supermodel, and just even more. That whole album, I think, from like song to song is pretty remarkable and just worth listening to. It's a fantastic album. Why did it take so long, though? Who freaking knows, man? Artists are crazy. But we definitely got an album filled with tracks on this one with wide-ranging styles and everything. SZA was not playing around when she dropped this one. It has a whopping 23 songs in a runtime of like 68 minutes. We love that. It doesn't feel as long either. That's probably the best part. It doesn't feel like an extremely long album. There's some songs on it, personally, I feel probably could have been left out, just make it a cleaner cut record. And maybe made those songs like deluxe feature songs. But I'm not complaining because I love SZA, and the more songs we have, the more we have to listen to, because who knows, it could be another 5 years until the next record comes. But some of the songs on the track list that came out that I thought could have been really good deluxe versions. You have Blind, Love Language, Snooze, F2F, Forgiveness, and then Nobody Gets Me. All the songs on there are pretty good, but like they feel kind of almost half-baked, and some of them could have been a little bit longer. Not quite, I think, good enough to stand up to the standard that she set for herself, but still decent enough track. There's a lot of positives on this album. Probably the only negative I have really for it is the track Low, which is already a great track, but like you have Travis Scott all over this album, like ad-libbing, but he doesn't have a feature on here at all, which makes zero sense to me, considering that he's also on this album somewhere else on a completely different song that I thought was going to happen, which we'll talk about in a minute. I just don't understand why he wasn't on this one. Like I said, he's all over it. His echoey yas and all of his ad-libs and crap are on there. And I'm like, why isn't it Travis Scott on here? Right? This track was tailor-made for him, and he's not a feature. I don't get it. I don't understand. But like I said, I think this album has some of SZA's best work on it, especially considering like the last album was like a debut and it was just kind of new to the scene. This one definitely has her a little more stripped back, more subtle, and her voice just oozes throughout this thing, and she's singing with ease. I think her vocal ability on this one's like one of the more impressive, most impressive features as well. You have the intro track SOS, where SZA sounds raw as hell. She's out there hitting those high notes, just kind of giving her sass about life and everything. Love it. So good. Then the following track, Kill Bill, is great too, talking about how she wants to kill her ex. And then that song is so sugary and poppy, like I could see why that one was a hit. So many of those songs on this album are, but that one's just personally one of my favorites. Like the whole thing is so catchy. I might kill my ex, I still love him though. And then you have the track Used by Don Toliver. Don Toliver really sings like the hook on this song, and SZA's talking about how she's being used and laying out what she wants like in her typical relationship. On the track Gone Girl, SZA is singing just angelic as hell and just sounding just amazing. It's easily a SZA classic without a doubt. The track Smoking on My X Pack Tonight. Smoking on my X Pack Tonight. That song could have been way longer. It felt half-baked, but compared to most of the songs on here, are all about like 3 minutes plus. That one could have been way longer. I think that's such a great hook, and I think she just sounds great singing that. But I love her sassy energy when SZA comes out here, like I said, on the track SOS, and she's really just laying it out there. She sounds fantastic. On the track Ghost of the Machine, that's a rather interesting track. My opinions on that one are kind of weird. I like Phoebe Bridgers on this track a lot. It's a weird feature for her to be on a track with SZA, but it kind of worked. I like the way they kind of played back and forth, but I wish they kind of would have somehow were able to make it so they were like trading lines back and forth singing. I think that would have been really cool to hear them kind of like going blow for blow, vocal ability wise, because I think they're both fantastic singers, and just how even with the track just being what it is, Phoebe Bridgers is just, she does kind of sound like a ghost singing sometimes. She's just so spooky, and just her voice is so eerie, and especially on the song like this, Ghost in the Machine, and the topics of everything on the song too. It just kind of fits her style a little bit more, and I love that Phoebe's on it. Don't get me wrong, because I love Phoebe Bridgers. She sounds great. But yeah, it's just a weird track for a SZA album, and I wish they could have done a little bit more together than like Phoebe's part being so isolated. I just think it would have been a little bit easier and a little bit nicer. But I'm getting nitpicky at this point. Next track up on here is the song "Conceited." Absolute freaking bop. I can see this song being all over TikTok. I don't have it, but I can only assume that it is all over the place. Just the whole chorus of the me, 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 me. The song's just so fun. It's so empowering. I love it. Every so often, we need to have that little selfish moment in our life where everything's just about me. I'm thinking about myself in this moment. It's not your time right now, it's my time. Like, I love that. Even following that one right back up is the song Special, which is just a heartbreaky acoustic track. It's just fantastic. She lays it out there, singing about how she used to be special. She gave all her special away to somebody who was a loser. Just great, man. We've all kind of been there at one point in our lives. If not, you're not living. What are you doing? The song Too Late's pretty good. I don't have much to say about it. It's decent. It's a really good track. Open Arms featuring Travis Scott. Like I said, Travis Scott should have been on a song earlier. I guess he was, but he wasn't. But he should have been, but he wasn't. But he was definitely on this one for sure. It's a slow, achy, breaky song that I don't think we've ever heard Travis Scott on a song like this ever. And I think he did really well. It might be a hot take saying that I think he did well. I think he did what he had to do. He sang his part. It wasn't like a trap banger or anything, but I think he did a rather decent job singing that style of music that he doesn't typically do. I found it rather impressive. And then the track I Hate You is also great. The line in there is like, if you're wondering if I hate you, I do. Love the lyrics on it. Her vocal talent on that song is great too. I think it's probably one of her best well-sung songs, or singing songs. The song showing off her vocal ability. I think it's a really great one. I love that one. One of my favorites. Even Good Days is a pretty great track to kind of wrap up the entire album. Overall, I feel like this album was a little bit bloated. I'm glad that she's kind of put everything out that she had, like on the cutting room floor. Like I said, some of the songs I could see being a deluxe re-release of the album and being on there. Listen, she hasn't released an album forever. I'll give her some slack. Not like I have this higher authority or anything. I'm glad she put everything out in the long run. Normally that would be a huge hit on an album. Personally, for me, it feels so long and bloated and everything, but it's been forever. Let SZA just put out all the music. We love to hear it. Everybody has been waiting for it, so it's here. Can't really bitch and moan too much now that it's here. We got everything, and now, oh, you give me too much. Like, what are we doing, you know? But this album freaking rocks, man. It's so good. It's aged like a fine wine, even with it just being the last couple months. I originally wrote down, I gave it a score of an 87. I'm feeling a little extra generous today. I'm gonna give it a 90. I think it's her best album. I love Control, don't get me wrong. I think this is her best one, showing all her like wide range of abilities vocally and tonally, and crap, she even released like a punk pop track on this album. It's definitely not good. it's definitely not one of the better songs on here. It's probably my least favorite song on the album, but even then she does a pretty good job at it. Just being able to show all her abilities on this album is impressive. And yeah, love this one. All these cop cars driving by today. So many sirens. You interrupted me. Interrupted the whole vibe. But what do you think? Put your scores down in the comment section below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video with all your besties. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Biggie out.